Ira is swinging around like she's Spider-Man or something, pretty much getting the giants to murk each other. And she was moving crazy. Even old girl here was shocked. Not too long before she jaw checked her ass, got her looking like Clarence. Evil Eye ain't done though, and he threw his cursed house on Okarun. But sadly, this wasn't Okarun no more. It was Big O. Turned the surrounding area red, spawned over Evil Eye, and had the biggest smile on his face. Yeah, we already knew it was over for that, bro. I'ma keep it a buck. Last week, we was hoed. Yes, you and I, we was all hoed off of the rematch Okarun and Evil Eye was about to have. But the anticipation for the rematch has been at a all-time high. But before we get into the video, I'd like to welcome the sponsor of today's video, being Manta Sleep. Manta Sleep is a wellness brand specializing in good quality 100% blacked out sleeping mask. Y'all know I was dropping back to back bangers throughout this month and haven't been getting good sleep. But just like the hero of Blue Lock, Manta Sleep came in with the clutch and sent me something to help with that. They sent me their Manta Sleep Mask Pro, and they've been great ever since I've used them. It's also been mad hot in my area recently, but luckily, they also sent me their cool eye cups to not only cool my eyes, but my whole entire face from these heat waves. If y'all want to cop some sleeping masks from them, make sure to use code DHJ at the checkout for 10% off your order. So just click the link in the description, and thank you once again, Manta Sleep, for the sponsor. So we pick up this episode with Okarun at Momo's place of employment at the fucking maid cafe, and bro is just flabbergasted to see his girl in a maid outfit. Bro low-key living the dream right now. She called him a bastard, and bro is still turned to the max. I know bro was crazy bricked under that table. I just know it. I can't exactly prove it, but I just know it. Trust. This whole shit was just a crazy ass troll by her homegirls, and it's actually so accurate on how this shit would go IRL, cause this is exactly how these niggas would be at your job, if not worse. Everything Momo was doing wasn't good enough, but hey, I'ma let it slide, cause if it wasn't for them and their lob, we'd probably have to wait rent a girlfriend type of pacing before the first kiss. So Momo's homegirls head out, and they was about to take Okarun with them, but he said that he wanted to wait until she got off of work because it's dangerous in these streets. But Momo declines his offer, pretty much blocked his shot, being that she's strong. And this is true. A regular nigga can hang with her running the ones, but Okarun respected it and walked off. But we all know she ain't want him to leave. That face is one full of regret, I know it. But I see why she insisted on him going home, cause it was like 5:30. Brody would have had to wait for like 4.5 hours doing jack shit before she got off. Momo was staring at that clock like niggas who just got to school wanting the time to go by just to go home. And she was really putting in that hustle, that pain, that effort, but that clock was not budging one bit. You'd think that she's going insane by the type of faces that she was making throughout her shift. But after a night's work, it was 10 p.m. and she was off. And look at who was waiting for her outside. All the lights were shining in all the right places. Okarun was really acting like her knight in shining armor. Even had his hand out for her to hold. But he tried saving himself because he thought that she wasn't going for that. He thought that he wasn't at that level yet. But Momo had faith. She really passed the ball back to bro like she was LeBron. And she took our boy's hand and started walking with him. This nigga ain't even believe he had it like that. He was flabbergasted himself. So we cut back home to Gigi's training, and bro was already mastering the sit up straight or you'll get the back looking like Mr. Crocker technique. Had my boy Manjiro pushing like he had his life depending on it. And I'm sorry Manjiro, but what the actual fuck do you got on, bro? I'm sorry, this shit is not hard. This is not tough. How are you going to hang around these niggas that have some sort of fashion sense and dress like this? I'm low-key surprised Ira ain't called bro out. Seiko then makes the decision to test Gigi whether he can withstand a drop of soy sauce to try and suppress Evil Eye. Manjiro had the hot water on deck. You know he wasn't about to be lacking. He ain't trying to get kicked into another tree again. As the drop lands on Gigi's hand, this nigga Evil Eye was trying to come out like he was Sukuna when Yuji ate his finger in like episode 2, just straight tweaking, but luckily Gigi was able to suppress it. Momo and Okaroon make it back home after, and both Ira and Gigi start running up towards them, and they quickly bump into each other, and Ira's boba spilled on Gigi. Everyone was prepping the hot water, but Evil Eye popped the cursed house like a domain before he could transform fully. Not gonna lie, that shit was dumb tough. Went straight for Momo to trap her. Okaroon was begging for Evil Eye to let her go in to fight him instead. Seiko tries to use a seal, shit flaked like the next second, and he was just walking her down and grabbed her by her collar, and he was about to give her a mean right hook. But this is Momo we're talking about. She always got a plan. She's locked in, caught the punch with her powers, and sent this nigga to the other side of the house. Really told him to stay 6 feet. She got a man. But he closed the distance between them by pushing the walls together, and his hands were on her throat, bro. He was ready to take her breath away, literally. But she then spits out the hot water that she happened to drink right before. And look at Gigi, bro. He was straight spooked. All the light in his eyes were gone at this moment. He tries to ask Momo if she's straight, but Okaroon pushed him out the damn way, hit him with a damn, my nigga, she says she good. We then cut to the farm where Peeny Weenie, yeah, I don't think I'll ever be able to say his name with a serious face, bro. But Okaroon came to ask him how to throw a punch, because we know that even though he has a silly ass name, his hands are no joke. But he says no, being that violence is bad. And I mean, hey, I get it. I even respect it. But what was frying me was the fact that he asked Okaroon to help him move the sacks. And Okaroon tried to make a deal with him after already moving like 90% of the sacks for him for Peeny Weenie to make him his apprentice. And, you know, a reasonable equivalent exchange. But bro flat out said no. Like, damn. Mankind can't gain something without giving in return, but I guess he's out of the equation since he's an alien, I guess. But you really just used him. He was really working overtime with no pay. We then cut to Manjiro and Seiko outside having a talk, and Manjiro, being the logical one, mentions how they're reaching their limits and for them to get another Hayashi performance going, and if she won't do the ritual prayer, then he will. And my bad, this wasn't even a convo for real, cause bro literally said what he had to said and dipped without her saying a word. But Seiko started spitting and says that as an adult, you want to burden yourself with all the kids' troubles for them to be free with nothing to worry about. But Manjiro hits this with a counter on her, saying that as an adult, it is also important to show kids what reality is. And it really had me like, damn, cause it kind of shows how both their characters are. Okarun is practicing how to throw a punch, and I haven't read Ippo, but shit looks like he's reading Ippo. Turbo Granny was clowning bro's punches, calling them dances. He was trying to hit the Louisiana Jigger song. She asked why he was practicing how to throw a punch, and Okarun responds saying that he wants to get stronger. Turbo Granny asks if there's someone that he wants to take off the map or some. And I'm sorry, but where in the actual hell did she equip another apple from? I know she ain't got no damn pockets on her body, bro. She thinks she adapted with the hot dog reload. But Okarun responds to her saying that he's been pissed for a while and he wants to send Evil Eye flying. So Turbo Granny asks him the question, whether he wants to learn how to throw a punch or get stronger. Okarun says that he wants to throw a punch so he can get strong, but that's not how it works. Turbo Granny breaks it down for him, saying that even if he could throw a punch, it wouldn't make him strong, and that Evil Eye is levels above him in both power and technique. So she asks him again, does he want to be able to throw a punch or become strong? And he answers with, become strong. So Turbo Granny was like, then follow me, little nigga, trying to act all cool and mysterious. As they make it to the school, they try and sneak in, and we see Ira already on the other side of the fence, and turns out she followed him. Oh my goodness, she really couldn't handle when Momo and him were out together just the other day. Okarun tells her to go back cause it's dangerous in these streets, and she's being all sweet and shit. But when TG told her to go back, she popped the transformation, got in front of them, and called her a dumpling. Oh my goodness, Turbo Granny, get back, bro. Turbo Granny was fighting a losing battle though, I can't lie. She was stepping on you, and you was still trying to swing at her like you was gonna land some, but I mean, I respect it though. They enter this music room, and Ira is already dropping shit like, man, this is why you should have stayed your ass home. Turbo Granny was behind the keys telling Okarun to jump, and then she made fun of bro jumping. TG is such a troll, bro. I don't even know how they've been tolerating her rage bait for this long. TG then breaks it down to Okarun, saying that Ira and Evil Eye can do a 4 switch in a beat, but Okarun can only manage 2. So, to put it simply, Okarun is slow as shit. But that's when we see this big-headed ass ghost playing some ass on the keys, brought them back to the black and white manga panels, and turns out he ain't alone, cause he got a bunch of big-headed ass unks with him who are also asking who's making filthy notes, like they aren't the ones playing ass behind those instruments. Ira finally having a good idea for once in that noggin of hers to play dumb and go home, but Turbo Granny puts them on blast as the ones making the noise. They start playing some shit and they send a barrage of music notes at them, but Okarun gets hit, revealing that they're actually bombs. Big-headed ass nigga on the piano hits a domain expansion and brought him to the plantation. Nigga, what? Turbo Granny gives him the heads up to dodge the notes. This nigga Okarun got hit, but I respect it, keeping the nonchalant act in front of the huzz. They start increasing the tempo, but Ira low-key weaving them. Hold on, I know I be hating, but she might just gain some respect out of me today. Okarun is just running, and he got hit with a music note to the jaw. Started sounding straight out of Looney Tunes. He then gets hit with a rest note. Stop this nigga right in his tracks. It is not this nigga's day today, bro. Got one tap twice by Evil Eye. Girl almost got slimed out, and now this. TG was pressing him and got hit with one herself. Dandanon is so funny, bro. But ain't shit funny now, cause they just got boomed on the spot. Knocked bro out of his transformation and all. He was just praising Ira and talking down on himself, but Turbo Granny was telling bro to quit it with all that crying and whining and to lock in. All Okarun has to do is recall a song and move his body to his own rhythm, but this nigga doesn't listen to music, so he doesn't know any songs, which is mad crazy to me, cause this series has so many banger songs like openings and endings, and we have a character that just doesn't listen to music at all. Like, are you kidding me? Okarun, when I see you, bro, I'ma put you on to Lil Tecca. Guarantee your body finna be bumping to that shit. But in this moment, Okarun remembers the Hayashi performance and how tough that shit was. And as Ira's feet get trapped in the soil from all that running and weaving, we see Okarun come in to save her before she got blown into smithereens. The old head starts spamming at Okarun, but now he knows what rhythm is. He is moving different. Literally, he is weaving them notes. Ira used her hair to bring down one of the old heads, kicked this nigga's head, spun it clean off too. Damn, these niggas pose up for a flick too for the extra aura points. Oh my gosh, that shit is through the roof right now. So the Unks start playing some a little different, some that these youngins ain't hear before. But Okarun and Ira start charging at them, and that's when they hit them with a second domain expansion. Is this even heard of? It's probably their complete domain or some shit. But now they're in an opera house, and they said choir assemble. There's a quartet of giants starting to erupt from the ground. This nigga got crazy vocals though, I can't lie. But then crowds of people start coming out of the other three's mouths. Honestly, what is Don Da Don even about anymore, bro? I am convinced that the author treats this series like a doodle sketchbook or some shit, bro, because anything that comes to mind is just being put onto paper. As Okarun and Ira are managing to keep the crowd at bay, TG tells him not to focus on them and to mark the musicians who are on stage. They quickly get surrounded though, so Ira tells Okarun to give him his hand. I just know it was an excuse to hold his hand. I can't prove it, but I just know. She uses her hair to lasso onto one of the giants, and right when they land on his head, the other two giants next to him slime their boy out, trying to knock two birds with one stone. Ira and Okarun manage to escape it, but She then kicks Okarun out of the way so she can deal with them and for him to stop the musicians. But they smack her ass down to the ground like she was a fly. She still got some left in the tank though, so she locks back in. Not gonna lie, Ira, you have been promoted. I like this type of hustle out of you, bro. Okarun starts charging at the musicians and weaving, but more people start coming out of the other levels of the house. Ira is swinging around like she's Spider-Man or something, pretty much getting the giants to murk each other. And she was moving crazy. Even old girl here was shocked. Not too long before she jaw checked her ass, got her looking like Clarence. Okarun starts showing out too. Hold on. Using this crowd as a launch pad, split kick these niggas, hit a 3-for-1 combo too, and he's just running through these niggas. Like, look at this movement. God damn. Leaps into the air, lands, and W keys towards the stage. Okarun can only go full throttle twice, so a blast per person won't cut it. But that's when TG told bro, surpass your limits, fuck nigga. 5 switches in 1 beat. Can you do it? And that's when Okarun locks in, starts running like he never ran before towards the stage, and knocks Beethoven and them out of there. We then go back to the house, and Manjiro breaks it down to Gigi that he's already called the Hayashi performers to come back, and that he'll do the prayer ritual himself. But that's when Okarun comes and tells Gigi to come outside. Full Govy too, you can tell that this nigga was not playing no games, goddamn. But that's when they go outside, and Okarun told these niggas to stand back, saying that he was finna beat the bricks off of Evil Eye. Momo said she was finna get pissed, but big Okarun ain't playing no type of games. He was pissed. He was tired of Evil Eye bitching him, bitching his girl, and with that, they run it back and clash. And they was already getting into it, and I was like, slow down. Okarun kicks Evil Eye back, Evil Eye hits him with a Uno reverse, and both their fists clash with each other. Turbo Granny holding on for dear life back there. You good, Mud? Okarun ducks the kick and clashes with Evil Eye again. Knocks him back though. Tries to get him with a sweep. Evil Eye jumped into the air like a gymnast and tried to stomp Okarun into the ground. He was really trying to put bro 6 feet under. Literally, no troll, no exaggeration, all seriousness. Okarun rolls back and hits him into the air with the handstand of doom and despair. Sent a barrage of grudge balls at... Hold up. When did this nigga have this in his arsenal? Are we just trying out new shit on round 2, huh? Shit low-key look like a firework. Or a sperm cell, depending on how wholesome and clueless you are. Okarun ain't worried though, charged right at him through the barrage. Got faked with a smoke screen though, and Evil Eye was about to hit bro with the 100% charged right hook of terror, but Okarun matched it with his feet, and crazy how his grippers actually caught it though. And off one hand too, who is this nigga feeling like all of a sudden? But it looks like they're evenly matched. They go at it again, clashing with each other. Evil Eye sent grudge balls Okarun's way, but he twirled through that shit. Oh my goodness, now he got the exaggerated swagger of a black teen. Ducked the left, and Okarun got right under him to send him flying with them super squats. Evil Eye ain't done though, and he threw his cursed house on Okarun. But sadly, this wasn't Okarun no more. It was Big O. Turned the surrounding area red. Spawned over Evil Eye and had the biggest smile on his face. Yeah, we already knew it was over for that, bro. Kicked this nigga down to the ground, landed in front of him, and he indeed went all out. W keyed this nigga and hit him with the headbutt of doom into that house. That house was no more. So Okarun is out of his transformation now, and Evil Eye is just laughing and smiling with blood coming out of his mouth, saying, "It's only getting started. Head ab, boy." The others are on standby, but if Okarun tags them in, they'd have to exercise Evil Eye later. Okarun was shaken too. He can't go for round 3, and that's when Evil Eye gets up and close and says that he hates waiting. Damn, the height diff is absolutely insane. Got him looking like Gohan and Boo. But that's when Okarun hits bro with the rage bait, saying that he doesn't want to bully weaklings, and it genuinely and wholeheartedly worked. He even got Evil Eye to sign a 360 deal with the ISA residents and made him promise to only fight him. Momo asks TG what's going on, but that's when we see that there was more to their convo before she took Okarun to the school, and that Okarun had a theory, being that since Evil Eye is still like a newborn, he doesn't really know right from wrong, and due to this he thinks that murdering is the same as being playful. So Okarun wanted to become stronger to essentially become Evil Eye's playmate. Okarun and Evil Eye finally agree to have one fight per week after school on Tuesdays. I don't know why they picked Tuesdays, but hey. And that's when Evil Eye takes off his boxers and says that they want to kill him. Why are we blaming the boxers, bro? They ain't do nothing wrong. And gives it to Okarun, saying that he should keep it until he kills him. And with that, Okarun pretty much saved Gigi. Now, this is where I'm gonna end the video for this week, cause if I'm gonna keep it a buck, I'm tired as shit. But don't worry though, cause that just means that I got y'all next week with the rest of this episode as well as the next one. So I think it's fair play. Anyways, if you guys did enjoy the video, then please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and comment down below if you guys want more Dawn to Dawn. Just copped volume 10 and some crazy shit is happening in there. But yeah, let me know. Be sure to also go follow the socials like the Instagram and the Twitter, and be sure to join the Discord to be a part of the community too. All links are in the description down below. And without further ado, I hope you guys have a great day, and see ya.